Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing interior renders of this box that I have designed. So this is basically a simple bedroom, nothing too fancy, it's just a box. So I'm going to be having a bed there and a chair there and some drawers there, and we are going to be taking this to 3ds Max. So since this model is done, I'm going to go to my 3ds Max and I will link it with my 3ds Max into the project. Gonna close this and I will enlarge this view. And what I like to do here is press G to remove the grid lines. And now once the model from Revit comes, it will bring in the Revit camera and the Revit sound. So we don't want either of this, so I'm going to delete all of them, and the only thing that we are left with is just the model itself. Now from here I'm going to change the screens into two, like that. This will be my working plane, as in like the top view, and then this is where I'll be having my camera view. So since we haven't set anything up, there are no cameras in the scene yet. I'm gonna open the render setup and I will change from Arnold to Vray 5. From there I will alter, okay, I'm not gonna change much on this. I'm just checking if everything is the way that I like. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna change anything. So the first thing that I would like to start with is to create the camera. I'm going to go to create panels here. Then I'm going to click the camera and I'm just going to use a standard camera. You can use a Vray camera or any camera that you would like to use. So in this case I will use a standard physical camera and I will place it in the middle and try to get a straight line like that. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go on the other view and hit C to go to the camera view. I will change it from wireframe to shaded so we can see clearly what we are doing. Now I will select the camera and now I want to move it up like that. Once we have it like that, I just want to get a little bit of a view from the camera, so I will go to the camera settings, and first thing I want to change, because we are doing an interior render, I will change the aperture from 8 to 4. So usually 8 is suitable for exterior renders and 4 is suitable for interior renders. From there I will change the exposure to 12. And one last thing that I would like to change, it's just the width. I think 40 is okay, and I just want to get a perfect view just like that. Once we have it like that, I'm going to go to my material tab and I will create a simple Vray overriding material. Like that. and I will make it white with just a little bit of reflection. I will hit Ctrl A to select everything, and I will assign material to the selection. Once that's done, I will create a second material right here, and this will be my glass material. Glass material, I'm gonna change this to black. I'm gonna change this to white. I will change this to white, and there we have a glass material right here. We can check the background to see if it's really glass. When you're able to see the colors, you now know that you have a glass material. Now I will start rotating my 3D like that, and I'll make sure that I have glass selected, and I will apply the glass right there. Once you have this, I'm gonna get this out of the way, and I'm going to hit T for top view, and I will create a V-Ray sun. You can use this shortcut here for the V-Ray sun, or you can go on the create panel. Yeah, you can go to this panel, choose V-Ray, and then you will find V-Ray sun there. So I want my light to be sitting from here and shining towards that direction. So I will pull from here to there. That's the direction I want the sun to go. Would you like to automatically add V-Ray sky? Yes, we would, and yes, we will. From here, I'm going to orbit this and select this part and go on elevation view. I will hit W for the move tool, it's a shortcut, and I will put my sun towards that direction. Now, in order for me to see if what I'm doing so far is working, I will just put it on an IPR render just to see how much sun or how much light I have in my scene. Right now we can see that we have too much sun coming into our scene right there. So we are going to change, we're going to alter the settings for the V-Ray sun. So on intensity, we'll leave it at 1. Multiplier, let's put it at 10, and let's see what else we can change. Let's change that. Put 0.55 there. And let's see what we have in our scene. So what I like to do is to also play with these other settings just to see what they give me, if there is any difference that I get. Actually, I will change. Let me see. So now we're able to see that our light is coming from the window, and we have light shining in the inside there. You can go back to the top view and try to alter the direction of the sun the way you want it to be. So this angle for the sun seems to be working pretty fine with me. We can always change it later when we start getting to the final render of the model. Now I'm gonna go to my material here, and I'm just going to reduce this a little bit so that you can get less of the reflectiveness. Now once we have this, what I want to start doing is to now bring in our bed and our chair that we spoke of in the beginning. Just going to drop it and drag it in there and merge file. Going to open. And I'm gonna bring my bearing here. So what I like to do is to first, as it's still selected, is to first group it. If it's not grouped, I make sure that it's grouped, and then I like to rotate it to this, and then now I can come and bring it inside to sit there. Against the wall. Now that's perfect, and I'm gonna go to elevation just to make sure that it's sitting there on the floor, and that's okay. Must also take note that some of the objects, when you bring them in, like for example the light fixture here, it comes with its own light. So sometimes you just wanna render to see what difference that makes to your model. So in this instance, the light seems to be working just quite well. It's not too low, it's not too high. So I'm gonna stop this, and I wanna change the camera just a little bit. I'm gonna take it back just a little bit and put the width to 44. Okay, let me see how it comes on a render. I just want to make sure that the ceiling shows as well. So I'm gonna keep on changing the angle up until I start seeing it properly. Let's just get a little bit more of it to show. So I'm gonna go again, and I'm just gonna move the camera back a little bit, just there by the wall, and I'm gonna move it just up a little bit like that. I will move it up a little bit just one last time, just like that. And now, just that line of the ceiling there is just what I wanted to be able to see. Now that we have this, I'm gonna go ahead and drop in our chair and just a small plant, so that the room can rather look complete. I'll rotate this chair towards this direction. Just like that. Move it towards there. Okay, that looks fine. And now I'm also gonna put in just a little small tree there, an indoor plant, and some cupboards here, and a curtain. So that is good. I'll then bring in our curtain. I'm gonna drop it here, and again I'm gonna make it a group so that it becomes easier to move around the scene. I will then rotate it by 90 degrees. And then I'll put it there. Once I have it like that, I'm going to go to this elevation and I need to scale it up so that it can just be a little bit bigger. Just like that. That's perfect with me. Now I'm gonna get a bedroom cupboard and put it there at the corner. I'll put it there. Go to my top view. As it's selected, I will go right ahead and make it a group, and I will rotate it. To 270. I'm thinking maybe we can have a plasma TV there as one last touch for the bedroom. I'm gonna scale it up a little bit and also take it up on this plane. So I want it to be something like that, and make sure that it complements the space like that. So on the photo frame here, it will be very neat to have a straight line going down like that. So you don't want the TV to be like this, you don't want it to be like that. But once it's on a straight line like this, your render starts taking a very beautiful shape. Now, we have all the objects that we needed in our 3D render. We're just gonna do a test render to see how everything is coming up. So our curtain there is blocking the harshness of the sun that we're getting in there, so that is quite cool. I like the way that the sun is hitting these objects right here. Now with the TV is black like that because we haven't assigned any material to it or any material anywhere else. Some of the objects like this counters here, they come with their own material. But as for the other ones, we'll have to add in material so that they can start taking a bit more of a realistic shape to it. So now there is one last item that I want to add, and I want to put a carpet on the floor, which will be in the shape, and that should also be completing the space in a very nice way. Okay, I'm gonna stop this render now. Bear in mind right now it just looks a little bit dim, but we're going to add additional lights to complement some of the spaces in the inside. So I'm gonna go to top view once again, and I'm going to bring in my carpet. So we have our carpet like this. Now I'm just going to place it there and rotate it and just adjust it a little bit. Okay, once I have it like that, I'm just going to change the positioning of our bed. I'm just going to push it up a little bit so that at these corners it doesn't look like the sheets are going through the carpet. So I'm just going to pull it up just a little bit, not too much, just like that. So now once you have it like that, you're gonna start assigning materials to a few things. What I like to do as well is to use this tool on our asset tracking toggle and do a refresh, and from there we're going to start looking for a place to set a path for all of these materials that we have um, we have missing in our scene. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick test render to see which materials came and which ones did not come. Already we can see that the chair came, the curtain is there, the plant is there. The bed, no, the bed doesn't have much. The TV, there isn't anything. So I'm gonna start by working on the carpet here, and then I will do this little carpet on the chair, and I will work on the TV. Okay, let's stop there. So I'm gonna go to my material tab, and I'm going to select a Vray material right here, and I'll call this carpet. And from there, I'm just going to make a simple material for the carpet. Okay, once this is open, I'm gonna go all the way down to Vray, and I'm looking for Vray bitmap. I will go to my location for the carpet. And I'm looking for this material. I will use it. Once I have that, I'm just going to create another layer for it. I'll just drag this and drop it here on bump so that we can have a bumpy material on it. Okay, once we have that, we are going to select our carpet and we are going to apply the material. Once we apply the material, we can see that it already takes shape of it like that, but I just don't want to leave it like that. What I want to do, let me do a region render right there. What I want to do is I'm gonna cancel this, cancel, select this, open this, render. What I want to do on the carpets, I want to put a little bit of fur on the carpet. And for us to do that, we need to use a tool called Vray Fur. Let me change the sun a little bit. Let me just put it to 10 for the time being. So we're gonna select the carpet. We're going to go to create Vray, and we're going to select Vray Fur. Once that opens up like that, we can see our Vray Fur on the carpet like that. And as usual, you can re-render to check how that's coming up, and in most cases it's going to give you this over exaggerated detail. which we are not looking for. Realistically, you wouldn't have a carpet which is that thick. So we're gonna stop this and we're gonna start adjusting the settings here. So our height, we'll make sure we'll put it at 1. 0.2 is fine, -3 is fine. Here we can use 0.55. Taper, we can put it at 1. And then here we can put 1, 1, and the last to change is per area, which is 0.5, and we're not going to change anything there. And with the Vray selected, I'm just going to go to material, or before I do that, let's do a re-render to see how that's looking like. Now we can see that our Vray fur has softened up a little bit. So maybe 1 is too small for the height. We can put it at 2. Let's gonna select the Vray fur. Let me put this at 2. So 2 is okay. From there, what I'm gonna do is with the Vray fur selected, on this material, I will assign material onto the Vray fur, and once we render, the green will change into the same material of the carpet. So if we do a region render like that, we should see a better detail for our carpet, which is like that. So with your carpet, you can always go and play with the settings up until you get the type of detail that you are looking for. So that looks okay for me. So I will leave that one at that. And once we have that, I'm gonna stop this and we're going to put Vray fur onto this one. I will select the chair. I will open the group. I will select the cloth and I will go and apply Vray fur to it. The Vray fur that is coming here will most likely take the same settings as this, but you can also adjust it singularly. So when you change this, it doesn't change the settings for this one. So there we have it. Our fur is too high, so we're going to decrease it. Let's put it to 1.5. Now it's looking much better. And for this one, I'm just going to apply a white material to it. So with it selected, I will just put this one and let's see how it looks. Alright, for now I'm gonna leave it like this. If I feel the need to change it, I will change it at a later stage. Um, Let me just change this to 5.5. Okay, that's fine for now. We'll adjust it later into good detail. So I'm gonna stop this, and I just want to do a whole render just to see how all of this is coming up. So now that our render is nearing completion, we can see that from here there is a lot of noise on the render that is distributed around, but that is not an issue because we can always remove the noise with Vray denoiser. So I can stop the render just here, and for us to add the Vray denoiser, going to go to this tab, we're gonna go to rendering elements, and we are looking for Vray denoiser. We're just going to add it there. You don't have to change any settings for now. It will do the job. So let me just do a region render here so we can spot the difference. Now we can see the difference between the two. There is actually a lot of difference. So once you render everything, the materials are going to be looking very smooth. So now, first thing I want to sort out is this. I'm just going to put material there, and let's see how that's gonna start looking like. I'll put an empty Vray material there, and I'll call it TV. Usually I don't like to add too much detail on stuff like this because the more detail you put is the more rendering time it will take. I'm going to select my TV there, and I would like to isolate it so that I can see clearly what I'm doing. So I'm going to select, rather, let me do this. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. And then I can select those materials there. Okay, that seems to be coming out nicely. That's okay. And the next thing I want to sort out is this. I want to put some material on the bedside. Again, I'm gonna isolate it and going to open the group, and I will select material. So there are materials, Vray materials in here already. I just need to locate some of the missing materials in the inside. So those ones seem to be okay. So the material for that is fine. I want to put materials for the pillow, so I'm going to create a new material and I'll call it pillow. Once I have that, I'm going to put a bitmap. And I will use this material for pillows. And I'm gonna put a bump. So I'm going to put a okay. Then I can assign this to that. And then I need to create the material for the blanket as well. Gonna go down to maps on the diffuse. I'll use the bitmap and I want to use this one. From there, I will copy that to the bump, and we shall have ourselves a very nice blanket like that, and to assign it to this material. From there, I want to put material on this stools. I'm gonna go right ahead and rename it timber, and I will select the material for the timber I would like to use. And for the diffuse, I will use this one, and I need to put a bump for the material as well. I'll put that as it says bump. And I'll put just a little bit of glossiness right there. and I'll select this one. Now our material looks nice, so I'm gonna select this and apply the material. Select this and apply the material. Now our materials for the bed is complete. I'm just gonna select that and close the group, and then I need to exit this mode and see how that's coming up. So far so good. Now the same timber material we made for these chairs here, I want it to be at the background there. So right there, I'm gonna select this wall and apply this material. From there, I'm gonna isolate it, and I want to rescale it. I'm looking for UVW map, and I can select a box right there, and I want to rescale it just a little bit. Just like that. And it should be coming out quite nicely on our selection there. Right, once we have that, I want to add some lighting there just so that it can pop out some of the darker spaces. So I'm going to go to the top view, wireframe, and I'm going to use a sphere, Vray sphere. I'm going to draw it there, and from there I'm going to hit the move button, and I will move it up to here, and then I'm gonna decrease that to 10 and make sure that it is invisible and doesn't affect reflection. I'm going to remove this and render that, and now we have some light being distributed just at this corner. If you want this darker corner to have just a little bit of light, you can make another sphere light just to put it there if you want to highlight something. But so far it is coming quite nicely. And then from here we're going to put material for the floor, and for that I want to use a percute material. Maybe we can put just one more light here at the corner. Let's do that. Alternatively, you can pick the one that you have done and just put it there as a copy, and then just pull it down a little bit. Just do a re-render to check how that's coming out. And it's coming out quite nicely right there. So now we can see that our outside lighting, when it comes and hits some of the materials, it's coming out quite nicely. I like this detail, I must say. And so now let's do our floor. I'm gonna go to my material tab and I will get material. And then I will select the floor percute and I'm going to reassign the materials that are lost. I will select my floor like that and I will apply the material. I'll go right ahead and isolate the material so that I can change the scale of the floor. Here we are looking for UV map, and once we have this, we can scale it to fit the room. That looks okay. Now we can just do a test render right there to see how it's coming out. It's looking good. Let me just check this side as well. So the next thing that I want to do is the photo frames right here. So I'll do this photo frame and I'll do this photo frame. That material is coming out quite nicely there. So I'll make a selection here and I will select a Vray bitmap, and I'm just going to use a picture that I have downloaded. So I'll use this picture in there, and I'm just gonna copy this to the bump. I will then select the photo, apply material, apply material right there, and I need to scale it. Like that scale looks good. And from there I need to create another material for the photo frame. I just want to make a a bit of a grayish material. I'll also select that photo there to make a material for it. And I'll put this nice picture in there. I'll then drag it and drop it onto our bump, and I will assign it. I will then isolate, put to shade it, UV map, put a box, and there we have it. And to end isolation and go back to my wireframe view. Now our 2 photo frames are done. We can do a test render to see how that's coming out. I must say this one is coming out quite beautifully so. And I'm just gonna come and check this one as well. It's also coming out quite nicely. Now I need to put some material on the window frame. But first, let me see how everything is coming out. So far we are doing good. I'm just going to put some material there on the window frame, and from there we'll put some a color paint on these 2 walls and this wall. And the last thing that we will add is lighting on the open strip on the wall and on the ceiling. That is quite good like that. So now I'm just gonna get a material for the wall. That is coming out all right. And just for the last part, I want to add some lighting in between the strips and on the roof as well. I will use a Vray plain light, and I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go to elevation and put it at the top. And this is where I want it to be. So here I will start with 10. I'll go to options, make sure it's invisible, and deselect affect reflection. So we have the light coming up on the ceiling like that. Maybe we should do this so we can see it better. So now the light in itself is it's bright. I'm just going to decrease the intensity. So that looks okay. And I'm also going to put some lighting on the other wall as well. So what I can also do is that I can take the same light, and copy it and rotate it to this wall. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create another Vray plane light like that, and I'm going to make sure that it's sitting at the right place. So I'll move it to here. Put it to the same intensity and deselect those two. Now we can check how it's looking. So now that's how the light is coming out at the moment. So what I want to do is that I want to try to make it a double light so that the gray part can receive some light as well. So this is the result that we get from that lighting there. I think we can just decrease the lighting at the top there just a little bit. I'm just gonna deselect this and put it at 6. And that's looking okay. Let me see what will happen if I try to put some color. think it looks a bit better with color, so I'm just gonna also go right ahead and put some color at those parts of the lights. So what I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna try and get the same color there. Going to decrease the color. It doesn't look too good like that, so I'll put it there. I think that looks a bit better. So I'm going to adjust a bit of my render settings and I wait for the final result.